All right, we're back. Episode 2. Brian Baker, Richie Fortunato. We're gonna kick it off today.
What's the topic today, Richie?
Oh my goodness, realtor relationship.
Want to say it again? No, I'm just kidding.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, a little bit.
I already have a problem speaking, and you're gonna make me say 2 words with an R. Thanks a lot.
Well, you just didn't look sure of yourself. I just wanted to make sure that was the topic for the day.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you again.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Still in the same clothes, but
yeah. No, I just always wear this. That's
our uniform, company policy.
Yes. We're still working on the entire playbook here, but
yeah. Well, we don't have a budget, so.
I think we've increased it from last month, right? It's went from 0 to 0.
Yeah.
Doubled.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Cool. So realtors and relationships and new customers. So tell me, what do you think as far as a realtor coming in first time, no call ahead or anything like that, literally just showing up with a customer? What do you think's the most important setup for them? What's the best way for them to come in?
Yeah. So a realtor comes in, probably driving around showing their buyer houses, and a lot of times they just see our signs, come on in, and they don't know what we have. So the best thing for a realtor to do is just to bring them in when they see me, make an introduction. Say, hey, I'm realtor, whatever, from XYZ Realty. These are my buyers, Joe and Harry. I don't know. And they said, we've been looking at houses. This is what we've been looking at. And this is what we're looking for. We want 4 beds, 3 bath. We're looking for, bonus room for the kids, whatever it is. Lay it out there.
Yeah.
Because it'll make the process a lot faster for everybody. It won't waste their time, the buyer's time. And by showing them more houses and getting them more confused because they're already been looking at 10 houses.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to remember where they saw, house number 2. So, yeah, man, just hang it all out there or leave it all out there. And then, that would make the process faster. We can show them what we have. A lot of times realtors will come in and be like, hey, we're just looking at, we're just looking around the houses. Came to see what you got.
Right. What do you got?
Yeah. I got a lot.
Yeah.
So, I got 12 different floor plans. I can build 20 different ways.
Exactly.
So I don't want to show you everything. I got 3 models you can walk through.
Yeah.
But, a lot of times realtors will come in and say that, or they'll give me the highest bid and walk right past me and just go look at the models and come back and like, oh, you don't have what we're looking for.
Right.
Well.
And sometimes there's such a vast difference, from 1,000 square feet to 3,000 square feet. And that's 1,000 and 3,000 are not going to meet the needs of a particular customer. Yeah. So what do they actually need? So I agree with that one for sure.
So just tell us what you need and we're going to help you. We're on the same team.
Right.
So we're here to sell, our builder's home, and you're here to help your buyer buy a house,
Correct.
So we can make everybody's life easier and
absolutely. Absolutely.
Stop wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then you think about, you ever have issues with realtors being hesitant to fill out registration cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes they think they're going to lose control or we're going to steal their buyers from them.
Yeah.
It's totally false.
Yeah. How many buyers have you stolen from a realtor before? Like in all of the whole time you've been doing, you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah. It probably happened. Carry the 2, none.
Zero. Right. Okay. I was thinking, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have asked that question. No. Okay. I've never stole one either. Like it's a team, and this isn't a one night stand. Like I want to have a repetitive relationship here. Like bring me some more customers that I can help you. You help me by bringing them, and I want to help you by closing them. Right. Like if they're home, if they get into a good home, they're happy. Then it's a win-win for both of us. If we both look good, that's referrals for both of us. So unless you don't like referrals, I don't.
Referrals are good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that's across the board, which I assume so. But.
Yeah, I'll take them. Referrals are the best type of customer because they're already giving you a praise. They're praising you already.
100%.
Now they come in, they already know what they know what they want, or they know what that they like you.
Exactly.
So
I did a referral yesterday. A customer came in. So she's, she brought, she's got a friend because she owns a David Weekley, loves it. Right. And she doesn't want to go look anywhere else because her friend is referring her. And that's all she needed.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like referrals are good. So help us get referrals with you. We can both look good, so absolutely. We get the times where like they'll go in there and hesitantly, fill out the registration card. And they're like, I'll give you the first initial. Yeah. Maybe I'll give you the last name, but I don't want you looking them up, and then I'm going to give you all my contact info.
Right.
And versus, just giving us the info in general, right? So the realtor is going to take it. They're going to put it in their CRM, right? For a drip campaign if they're not ready to move now, or for just follow-up, right? Reminders. We're going to do the same thing. So to have two people communicating with a customer who's interested is a good thing, right? Yeah. So some people, if you let them sit, they'll sit, they'll sit for a year. Some people need that push, and not everybody's a driver personality. So, I think it's a highly positive, and I know, you touch, customers and realtors. Email's your big one, right?
Yeah, you got it. That registration card is huge. If you're a realtor, you have to fill out that registration card with your buyer's info, because we follow up a lot more. Probably, if not, you might talk to them every day, but if they don't buy a house within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or if they're waiting, we're actually going to follow up more with them personally. And then a lot of times, like my situation, I keep 2 separate emails. Yeah. Right. So I have a realtor email list and a customer email list. Well, a lot of times the realtors don't check their email, or goes into a spam folder. Right. Whereas the customer might get it, and then they'll see it before you will. Yeah. And then they might call you and say, hey, this just happened at whatever community. Yeah. Can we go back there? Yeah. So if they didn't have that, you would probably lose that sale. Yes. So it's good. And plus it protects you, that registration list, as the realtor. So when a buyer comes in, you fill out the registration card, you're the realtor, staple your card to the registration card. Yeah. So if something ever happened in the future, like, oh, we're not working with a realtor. Well, you actually, right. You have this, this realtor brought you in. Yeah. So I had that situation where it happened, where a buyer came in with a realtor and made an offer on a house, on an inventory home, and then tried to kick the realtor off because he thought he can bring in his friend, or the friend's going to give him some money back. Yeah. Oh yeah. So just because of that, because we had the realtor filled out that card, actually made the offer, so you can't really deny that. Yeah. Yeah. That's no kidding. Produce the sale, and I'm going to get. So the realtor got paid. He's protected. So and we'll make sure, because we're there. It's our job. We're there every day. Of course. And we're not here for the one sale. We're here for the 5th sale, So. Yeah. Well, for realtors to know also, that registration is for their protection, right? Because it ties them to that customer, but it's also our protection, right? Yeah. So there's multiple sales consultants in a community, and if we take an ownership of that customer, right? So that's who we are responsible to work with. We were responsible to take care of them, follow up with them, and all that, right? So that registration card is the way that we also protect ourselves, because if we spend 3 hours working with a customer, we don't fill out a registration card. I'm off tomorrow, and the next day they show up. And Richie's there, and they're like, "Hey, we saw this, and man, this is an awesome home. We want to buy that home." And Richie's like, "Cool." And he goes, puts their info in, and they're not in the system. He goes, "All right, write them up." And I come back, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what happened?" That registration card is that's our protection as well. Yeah. And so you help us, protect ourselves. We're going to help protect you. So it's kind of goes both ways, on that one. So that card is also money for the new home counselor. So if you're a new home counselor in a building or in a community, you need that card filled out and save it. Don't just throw it off to the side or put it in your CRM and forget about it. Make a list. Keep an email list or a tech or phone number list, something, so you can constantly follow up. Even if they buy a house from somebody else, they have family, friends that are going to end up purchasing a home somewhere. Oh, 100%. If you stay in contact with them and keep them updated on what's going on in your community, chances are they're going to tell that their friend or their family member, and they're going to come in, and they'll probably ask for you. 100%, because they're going to remember you, because everybody else is going to stop following up as soon as they go, oh, they already bought a home. Okay. They're cut off, right? So, but they still feel your touch. I've had a couple times where literally it'll be months down the road, and they've already bought a home, right. And they went through the process, but something happened and they canceled that contract for whatever reason. Next thing you know is, just because they're still getting my follow-ups and my updates on the community, they're coming in and going, hey, we're back in the market. We do want that one. That's, we should have went there first, but hey, we made a mistake. Right. Yeah. So had that happen numerous times. So definitely, follow up until they tell you not to. Even if somebody comes in and it's like, they want an inventory home and you don't have an inventory home, still get that info, because stuff falls through. Yes. And then you can be, hey, this home, I just got this home back. Yeah. Now you have a cancellation and then a rewrite that same day. Same day. Yep. You got to keep that info. Yeah. I had a customer this past weekend, actually it might have been yesterday,
quick move-in is what she's looking for, but she is so particular over what she has to have in that quick move-in. There's certain items that are not super common that most builders are going to be putting in a quick move-in, right? So I definitely have her on a special, note, because she's probably not going to find that, right? She's going to have to make a sacrifice at some point. So if everybody else cuts that, loose and cuts the ties and doesn't take a reg card or doesn't follow up with her, then the chances are if I continue to do so, when she's not able to find what she needs, she can at least come back. Or if I have a cancellation, like you said, I still have her forethought, and plug her in if I have that available. Yeah. Or she'll decide, you know what, I have no other choice. I'll build something because we can build what she needs, So definitely, no matter what the situation, I mean, get that info. Yeah, for sure.
It's funny. It's a funny story. So I just found this out the other day when I had opened the reserve at Sawgrass. Okay. Right. So when I first started at Beezer, I was at Sawgrass Plantation, the original one. Closed it out. They sent me to Windermere. Then they moved me back to Sawgrass. Okay. And so I'm in there, and our architect here actually shot me.
Oh, nice.
He was at another home builder, and they were having issues selling one of their homes, and they're having a lot of like custom requests. Yeah. Right. Non-standard options. Okay. We're getting a lot of requests for that. Yeah. So he came in, and him and another guy for his company came in, and they shot me and tried to figure out what we're doing different. And he started asking me about price requests, and I just shut it down. No, we don't do that. Yeah. Right. He filled out. I have him fill out the card. I put him on my list. To this day, he still gets emails. I just found this out. We just had a kickoff meeting last Monday, and he's like, "Dude, I still get your emails." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Oh my God, that's hilarious,
dude. It had to have been at least 3 years, maybe. No, longer. Yeah, that's been longer than that.
But I mean, think about it. So, I mean, right now he's at the same company as you, right?
Now he is, yeah.
So, think about how often this business is a small business, and there's rotation. Like, we just got a new land guy that used to work for another builder, for many years, and another builder before. Like, it's a small business. So if I work with him now and he shops me, or you shopped him, if he ever goes anywhere, what if he's ever looking for a home, or he's got friends or family members? I mean, like, you still have that contact no matter what. That's why those registration cards are vitally important, because realtors, I mean, they're going to have that too, but they're constantly turning the pavement, right? They're out showing and everything. We're stationary a little bit more. It makes it easier, I think, for us to kind of do some bigger follow-ups and marketing type stuff like that. So
we're as a schedule, 9 to 5, but 10 to 6. Yeah, 5 days a week. Yep. Stuck in one spot.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're fortunate people are coming to us. Yeah. First have to go, find that. That's hard. That's for realtors. Tough. I don't know how they do it, man. Finding and.
Yeah, I did. So when I did general real estate, I was with Keller Williams when I did it, and went to their huge training program, which they call Bold, right? Mm-hmm. So, and one of their Be Bold was to go out and literally you're hitting the pavement, and the goal is to make contact and have dialogue with 100 people, right, in one day. Right. That's hard. Yeah, that's hard. Like, I tried it. I'm sorry, I didn't make it. 100 people. Like, I mean, literally, it gets to the point where it seems so insincere. Like, I was just tapping people on the shoulder. Hey, I just got to talk to you. Like, I'm a realtor. Who do you know? That I should know, type deal, right? So, but it was, that's a tough.
I couldn't imagine doing that in Orlando.
It's interesting, yeah, because
literally more than half
were realtors. Yeah, that's kind of why I probably didn't finish. I was just like, oh yeah, of course you're a realtor. All right, I'm gonna just go back to shopping here. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I couldn't. That'd be difficult here.
Yeah. And then you get the other ones that don't. They turn and look at you and they don't speak English, and I'm like, man, I got to learn more.
I ignore Spanish so bad.
Yeah. I got the first compliment ever in this range. Yes, 2 days ago, the lady told me, your Spanish is pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. And I told her, oh, you're sweet, but you don't have to lie to me. I'll still sell you a home. There's no way it was that good. No. But I may do because, they were two Spanish speakers, but I think that's huge. I think the fact that it was as terrible as I was, I made an effort. Yeah. And she was super appreciative of that. Like, she was like, oh, that's okay. So, I mean, we went through the whole process, made a follow-up appointment. So she came in, she's got a realtor. And so he came in and he was like, man, she loved you. She was like, you were awesome and you just helpful and trying to communicate and all that. I was like, all right, cool. So don't and I feel like I've seen that before. somebody comes in and, they don't speak English or they don't speak your language and you're like, oh, okay, just kind of, you don't help at all.
Right.
They're going to buy a home
somewhere.
Are they going to buy from you or are they going to buy from me?
Right.
So, because I'm going to at least try, I'm going to give them the time in the day because, they're going to live somewhere. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think in another future episode, we're going to talk about selling like techniques.
Yeah.
I want to, because this business, it drives me crazy, but a lot of it, a lot of these companies tie their, they get connected with these sales coaches or, there's certain techniques.
Oh yeah.
And no, I don't think I've ever had anybody say, Richie, I bought this house because you were coffee worthy.
Yeah.
Or you found my current dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
So not to take away from that. If you use it, it's great.
Of course.
It's a good foundation. So I think those things are good foundations.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the only thing that I think that really is going to push somebody to buy is if you gave them some value or they like you, if they trust you.
Yeah.
If you're authentic.
Yes.
So if they believe you,
I agree.
And you come across that way and you're actually helping them.
Yeah.
Then I think they buy. I think that's the biggest thing. And that's a different episode.
But I think you're definitely right on that one. I think
but just trying to speak Spanish or trying any language.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't, at least giving them the time and showing them.
Yeah.
It's going to help.
Well, I think it also helped just in my relationship with that. So that realtor, it was new meet with the realtor that following day or 2 days later or whatever it was. But I think it helped with the relationship there because, he saw that I didn't just, completely disregard him. And there was a lot of effort put into it, even with a significant language barrier. Right.
Yeah.
So the husband literally spoke no English and the wife, her English wasn't bad, but it was not good. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was limited. So but I felt that, when meeting with the realtor, it was a good way that we started off just to build that relationship. So hopefully I'll be able to have, future business with him in general. So
does your partner in your community speak Spanish?
No.
That's good.
No, I'm the Spanish speaker for my community.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you can't have, I've had it happen where my partner spoke Spanish, I don't.
Yeah.
It's tough because then you lose. Everybody hears that and they just go right to that.
Right to them.
Yeah. And you're like, what the?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, how do you work? How do you do that?
What's that? If the person speaks Spanish and you don't?
No, when they gravitate, to your partner.
So I had a partner who spoke Spanish. I had two partners. I was in a 3-person community.
Yeah.
2 of them spoke Spanish. I didn't.
Yeah.
So you can either keep that person and hopefully you have good partners where they'll help you.
Yeah.
And do it, speak Spanish for you. Or sometimes you just lose people. Or you can be a dick, be like, nope, it's my turn, it's my up.
Yeah.
You can sell my house, but I'm getting the money.
Yeah.
So I think you have to. That goes more towards the relationship you have with your partners.
True. Yeah.
So when we're in Orchard Hills, we were right next to another builder.
Yeah.
And the girl over there spoke Spanish. So remember Julie? So Julie spoke Spanish, right?
Yeah, I forgot.
So we didn't speak Spanish there.
Nope.
And we'd have, Brazilians or, speaking Portuguese or whatever language. I would go get her.
Oh, nice.
If Julie, can you come help me? So you got to be creative. Unfortunately, we had a good relationship where, she'd help me, but most builders won't, most salespeople, other builders probably won't help too much.
See, it's funny because Orchard Hills, right? So that's my first community. Mm-hmm. That's where I started my whole world and, with you and Julie next door. And so going into this business for me, I just thought that was how new construction, everybody was all friendly and like, oh, hey, cool. We have great relationships. Like every sales rep that came through that community, both for us and then for next door, we just had an awesome relationship. Yeah. We'd talk and hang out. Right. And that is not how it works because, going to other communities and you talk to the competitor, and just like cold, like, why? I'm sorry, I just need to know how many sales you wrote last month. It's my CMA.
I know we all have to do the CMA.
We all have to do it. You're going to come and ask me later.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand why people lie about the numbers.
I don't get that either.
Just who cares? Just tell me what you have. I'm
going to tell you what I got. Yeah. I don't get it. I really.
If we really wanted to know, we can count the lots one month and then count them again the next month on what's available.
Exactly. So, exactly. Yeah.
we're all in the same business. We're all probably end up working together anyways.
Yeah, at some point we're going to be on the same team,
So
that's pretty funny. How about models, and let's talk about the models in reality, right? Mm-hmm. So, because I mean, not that a model couldn't be a reality, because one, we sell the model, so it becomes a reality, but typically not the amount of options or selections or whatever, they get put into a regular, even a quick move-in home, right? So what would you talk to that point?
So every new home builder, the model is just the dream, right?
Right.
You sell the dream. What you see is not what you get.
Right.
So when you go through a model, if you're bringing somebody through a model, just know that everything's upgraded. So you have to set for like me personally, I just set it right. I set the expectation right up front.
Yeah.
So you go, what's included? Nothing. Nothing you see here is included. And you can't be like embarrassed about it or scared to say it.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Right.
Nothing. Yeah. But if you want it to look like this, it's going to cost you this much money.
Yep.
And in the models, a lot of things you see, like all the decorations and that stuff we don't do.
There's a lot of decor.
If you see any type of built-ins or designs on the wall or wallpaper, we don't do that stuff.
No.
You got to look at
that's
flooring.
not building the home. Yeah. That's designing and decorating a home. So, I mean, there's definitely a difference.
So, if you're a realtor walking somebody through, you could tell them, no, it's not included. None of this, none of this that you see is included.
Yeah.
But we can get you a price on what it would cost you.
Right.
Or let's talk to Brian and see what Brian says.
Yeah. I think that's important for the realtor to make sure they ask about. One, it makes them look intelligent, right? Yeah. It's going to make them look good in front of the customer. But your builder is different than the one that I work for, right? And then the other, 15 builders here in Central Florida are all going to be different when it comes to what is included, right? So your standard features are different. So, that's a huge thing. Well, what is included? Like, figure it out. Like, there's places that are still doing laminate in your kitchen, which is your included. I kid you not, have people come in and ask me about it. But it's just different. So no matter where you go out in Central Florida alone, I mean, Central Florida is huge, but even in my say 1 mile radius, there's probably 7-8 builders in that range, right? But all of those included features are going to be 100% different. Like, they're not the same. So having a good idea about, what is going to be for this one versus that one, right? So I think that's a huge one.
I think you just got to ask the NHC there, because some builders are going towards the affordable housing, So I know we're getting into it depending on the area. Like if you go up to like Orange City, so now it's packages.
Yep.
So you have like these 4, like townhomes. You have 4 packages to pick from, and this is what's included. So it's a lot easier. But it's more, the affordable housing.
Yeah.
But if you're looking if you're in your area, you go to Claremont or Sawgrass or Lake Nona, any of those areas. If you're at the builder, you're going to have to you pick everything.
Right.
Now you have builders in those areas. There's one where everything is included.
Yeah, I mean, more or less.
You're back to that package. So there's no customization.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just imagine you have a whole community of 4 different packages. So when you go to sell your house,
everything
looks the same.
Yeah.
But so how's you going to say now?
What's the difference from that house?
Yeah. So how are you going to sell your house? You're going to lower the price.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's another episode.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. It is. We've actually got there's another one that's replicating that somewhat in my area, and it's all packages. So they've lowered everything in that, like it's all like bottom end now. Yeah. And it's typically a builder that's, more of a higher reputation, for being a good quality, even more expensive. So they've lowered it. And it's, you got A, B, C, or D. Which would you like? There's no crossing them. There's no mixing them.
Did you spray foam?
No.
Oh, it's not that. Okay.
Yeah. No. I mean, they may have just taken it away from this particular. I mean, they've lowered it, but they did it just to lower the prices. So that's just a more affordable home. So I mean, it's not a bad thing, I think like I get customers coming in and they're asking for these prices that I can't touch, which is great, and they end up because I always think like who's gonna buy that? Like you look at this, who's gonna? Well, the ones they're looking for this price range, and they probably went there and they were like, oh, I don't like it, so they came here, and then they were like, oh, there's a price difference.
Yeah.
And then they find their way back. And I think that's probably, but that's good. They get into a home, good for them, So, I mean, that's great. That gives at least there's a home opportunity for everybody, and all of that. So, But I think also knowing what the builder is or who the builder is good too. So do some due diligence too. Like I think that's going to help out. I'm highly surprised when agents kind of show up and literally they don't have any idea of who we are or what we got. It's like you got a customer who's looking for 300,000. My base price is 4.
Right.
So like, why bring them in? Like.
And then why show them?
Why show them?
You always want to see because you're curious.
Yeah, but
you want to show them and they get their hopes up.
Exactly.
Maybe we can. We'll talk them down. No, you can't.
Yeah. The base price is the base price, and it's not. If it's going down, then we got some issues in the market.
Yeah.
So
some bigger issues.
Yeah. Exactly. Much bigger issues beyond any corporation that we got right now.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing I was thinking about is inventory homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So building, obviously the customer has the ability to go all standard and just keep it, on a low end. They can deck it out like a model and, high end, and then they can do everything in between. But inventory homes are typically, at least, from how we've seen it, we were together at Beezer and how we do it, your most average selected items. Like we try to keep it basically like looking at what the customers are who build, like how much are they spending? Right. What are they choosing? And that's kind of where we try to keep our prices and upgrade options for that, because it's more realistic in that sense. But that's how we do our inventories. Are you guys about the same, or do you guys deck some of them out?
No. You do the common, whatever everybody's picking.
Exactly. Okay.
Whatever's going to sell, you stick with your white cabinets and gray floors or white floors or whatever.
Exactly. And I say that I bring that point up because know what you're going to get. If you have somebody's looking for something really like specific, an inventory home, it's going to be what the most popular items are, right? So white cabinets are in right now. Yeah. Most of my inventories, they're white cabinets. We'll have an espresso here and there, but I mean, like for the most part, they're white, because that's selling 9 times out of 10. And I'd rather sell 9 times out of 10 than 1 time out of 10. You know what I mean? Like I don't need it to sit there.
Right.
So just kind of food for thought on those inventory.
Do you have a certain time where you have more inventory that you sell? Or do you plan more inventory at a certain time of the year?
We try to do, ours is about 50-50. I mean, we try to always have dirt and inventory to kind of keep an even spread. But the hard part comes in, and I can't. Maybe it's just the area I'm in right now, because I felt like there was so much more when we were in Winter Garden. I knew the tidal waves, like I knew what was coming when it was coming. Here, I think it's going to be busy and then it's slow, and I think it's going to be slow and then it's busy. And there's no consistency, but like we've got some inventory and everybody's building. Nobody wants the inventory right now. Everybody is building. Like I'm selling one here, one there. Right. But right now it is build central. Yeah. Like everybody wants to build, which is common because you want to get in at the end of the summer. Right. So, but some of these inventories that we figured would have already sold, they're still they're coming up on completion and they're done being built. So,
those are so quick too, because
did
you for you ever notice in new construction, all your inventory it's going to be done. Yep. It's going to be around June or July, and then so there'll always be like a sale, some type of marketing sale or promo, or pushing inventory homes around June or July, and then in like August you're going to have a promo for to-be-builts that can close in December. So if you're a realtor, you should know these things, because if you have somebody who wants to be in before school starts, it's going to be an inventory home, and so you're going to start seeing homes being pushed more. Right. Now it might change coming up this year because there is no inventory, and there's way more people looking to buy a house. So there's really no reason. Just because the builders have the inventory doesn't mean they need to discount it as much as they used to. Yeah. So you still get a better deal, or a little bit of more of a deal,
incentives and everything like
on inventory
that.
home, but
the price of materials and labor right now, I mean, they're high. Yeah, and a builder's got to make money, or they're going to go out of business, and then it doesn't. Why are we here in the first place, right? Yeah. So, you can still get a good deal on an inventory home, but I mean, don't come in thinking, hey, listen, you got an inventory home, I'm going to offer you $100K less, right? And we're going to be like, oh man, please, thank you so much, like, all right,
and we don't have to submit your offers.
No. We
are the builder.
Yes.
We do not. If a realtor submits a ridiculously low offer, we can just tell you no right there. Yeah. We don't have to submit anything.
So My management, tell me about yours. I'm curious. So for me personally, if I have to take deals to my manager contemplates firing me, because that means I kid you not, because he has to do the job. He says, well, why do I hire you? If you've got to come to me to negotiate, why do I need you?
Okay.
We should just open the door and let them and put my number there. And when they're ready to negotiate a deal, just give me a call and I'll negotiate it. And I'm like, okay. Or you can get somebody who's an associate, right? Or, as you had, where you started your career, right? It was an associate, right? Is that what they called it?
Yes, sales
assistant, right? We get an assistant that fills in, and then they can just kind of warm them up to that point, right? So, we have the power for us. We do the negotiating. I know what my limits are, and it's basically we get the incentive, and that's what we.
Do you always stay within your incentive for your community?
For the most part, the incentive is that's my range, right? That's what we have to work with. To be built, you control as a buyer. You control the price, right? So they're not going to give you all kinds of money just so you can go spend it freely. Like, it still costs money. Somebody's paying for it, quick move-ins. Like, I know my numbers on the backside well enough to know, like, we have certain, margins that we've got to meet. One, to pay the bills, right? Keep the lights on in the models. We got to pay all of our employees and everything like that. But then we have to turn a profit. If we don't turn a profit, Mr. Weekly's going to be like, hey, listen, you guys suck, so you're all fired. You know what I mean? So I know those well enough, but for the most part, we have that incentive, and we stay with that incentive. But we also talk on a regular basis, right? So we're communicating, like, if we have one quick move-in home, it's ready to go and it's done, and we're not getting a whole lot of bite on it, we might say, hey, okay, well, maybe it's over improved, so we'll lower the price a little bit, right, and try to get it a more competitive aspect. But at that same conversation, we're talking about, hey, this is kind of what we can do with it. You know what I mean? So if I've got to give blinds in the house or something, you know what I mean? Like, I have an idea, but for me, and this is totally kind of a little bit more in depth into another topic, but use it for negotiations, right? Because everybody's negotiation is different. And instead of just saying, hey, I'm just going to give you free crap, because there's no value in that, right? What do they need? Right. You know what I mean? Like, hey, privacy is their big thing. Well, what do you think they need? You think if privacy is their number one concern, you think that a washer and dryer is going to give them privacy? No. Why don't you sell it to them in the sense, like, you know what? I understand privacy is real important to you. Let's get some blinds. So that way you're moving in, you've already got your privacy. You're not having to worry about, peeping Toms or whatever, you know what I mean? But you can approach it at a different manner, but that creates value. Right. So instead of me having to spend the next 45 minutes going back and forth over $1,000, I've created enough value, and I'm going to do something for you that usually that's how we're able to cross that threshold. Right. So, but to answer that question again, for the most part, we stay within that realm.
Yeah, I think we do too, especially when to be built. There's no house. The house doesn't exist yet.
Exactly.
So what are you negotiating? In dirt. I think sometimes it's more probably on the back end, but there's things that NHC knows they probably can get something. Like if there's a lot premium, sometimes that lot premium might be inflated a little bit, right? Just in case you have to lower it a little bit.
Sometimes, yeah.
And most people should know that. But usually in a two-built, we stay within our incentives. But if it's an inventory home, if you've been doing this long enough, or you're smart enough, really, honestly, what you can do.
Yes.
Because you've done it in the past.
Yeah, right.
So, if the house is, say, $350,000, somebody comes in and like, I'll offer you $320 and I want $10,000 for closing. Yeah. No. Yeah. You already know. So why would you put yourself in a situation and ask your manager and get yelled at? Because we get yelled at.
100%. 100%.
Why would you, are you serious right now? Why would you submit this offer?
100%.
And then they're questioning your ability.
Oh, exactly. My manager, I'm telling you, he will consider firing you if he has to do your job. Yeah. What do I hire you for? Yeah. So I hear that speech all the time.
But if somebody's like 320, realistically, if the house is 350, you probably can sell it for 335, 340.
Right.
Every
home is different.
It depends.
It depends on what levels or
what's in it
are in there. Yeah.
Because the options, that's where you make, usually options have like a 40% markup.
Yeah.
That's where they make money, and that's what they can really negotiate with, So that's a little insider tip. We probably shouldn't have said that much, but
well, I mean, and that varies. One, it varies per builder. It varies per option, right? So some options are bigger than others, but that you think about that percentage that we make off of, say, flooring, right? So let's say we're making 40% off the flooring upgrades. Like, that's not just income that we make. So, because you guys have warranty, right?
Yeah.
Every builder, claims the warranty. Well, where's that money coming from? You know what I mean? Like,
part of it.
It's part of that. So we collect on that. So if we have to go in there and we got to pay for all this extra stuff, like, at some point it becomes, not cost effective for me to even give you a warranty, on flooring that I'm buying from somebody else, right? I'm paying the labor and I'm paying for the materials, but if that material is one, if it's bad material, we're going to back charge them anyways, but I mean, the money's got to come from somewhere. So
this might be off topic, but you ever tell somebody not to get an option?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah. Don't tell my boss that, because I never try to suggest somebody not
like
to.
If somebody's like, I want hardwood flooring. Do you tell them to buy it? Or do you tell them?
Yeah, it depends on the situation. I mean, where are we putting it?
The whole house.
The whole house. I mean, it's pretty.
You tell them to get it? Yeah, I don't know. What do you say?
I mean, if they want a hardwood floor, I don't think I would steer them one way or another.
Yeah.
That's very preferenced. I mean, for example,
or a refrigerator. I want a fridge.
Refrigerator. That's a great example, right? So if you want a refrigerator and we're sitting here looking at the numbers and we're tight, right? And you're like, where am I going to be? So sometimes it might make more sense to put in, say a $1,500 refrigerator in there, get you a refrigerator. You don't have cash out of pocket, to go to Lowe's afterwards. So I would say, yeah, you should probably do it.
Yeah.
But there's other situations where, listen, you could go, if you've got the cash and you want to keep the monthly payments down, go to Lowe's. Lowe's has deals all the time. I got a refrigerator that's got a quote unquote a scratch on it. I've had that refrigerator for 7 years. I still haven't found the scratch. You can just get good deals. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're here and they're there, and sometimes the times don't line up. But if you've got the cash on hand and you're more worried about a monthly payment, then go buy it out there. I mean, we don't make a whole lot of money on appliances, anyways. Like, that's I don't even know if we mark those up at all. But I mean, that's a good example. Fans is another one. I mean, you can save $100 a fan almost, just by doing it yourself.
Yeah, I think probably in the next episode we'll talk about options, models. Going to the design studio. Different options, when to take the option, when not to.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and.
Sometimes people if you just want it done, move in and ready, then get it. Go for it. Like, we're going to do it. We're going to warranty the work too. So that's the other, we'll get into that. But, the work itself being warranted by us would fall under that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Let's go to wrap this one up. Episode 2. Great job, Brian.
Thank you.
Dude. See you guys next time.
Later, guys.
Bye. Thank you.